In a small village nestled at the edge of the river Urumiri, the Igbo people lived in harmony with the land. The river was both a blessing and a curse. It provides fish or crops and a way to travel to neighboring villages. But the elders often warned the children never to venture too far into the depths, for it was said that Agwamiri, the feared river monster, resided there. This monster, according to tales, had the body of a massive snake and the face of a human with red glowing eyes. It was known to lure unexpecting villagers into the water, never to return. Despite the warnings, the villagers relied heavily on that river. One day, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows over the village, a terrible cry pierced the air. Young Nkem, the only son of the village's most respected hunter, had disappeared. His fishing canoe was found floating near the riverbank empty. Nkem's disappearance cast a heavy pall over the village. His mother wailed endlessly, tearing at her wrapper, while elders gathered in the square to consult the diviner. The diviner, Dibia Okadike, sat with his sacred cowries shells spread before him. After a long silence, he spoke. The river monster has claimed Nkem, he announced gravely. It demands more. If we do not act, the entire village will suffer. The villagers gasped in fear. The Dibia continued, the only way to appease Agwamiri is to send someone brave enough to confront it. But know this, the chosen one may not return. The crowd fell silent. No one dared to volunteer. At the back of the crowd stood Adanna, a young girl of 19. She was known for her beauty, intelligence, and fierce independence. Her father, a palm wine tapper, had passed away years ago, and she lived alone with her aging mother. Adanna clenched her fist. She had had enough. I will go, she declared, stepping forward. The villagers gasped again. Her mother, sitting nearby, cried out, Adana! No, you are my only child. But Adana stood firm. If no one else will go, then I must go. The river has taken enough from us. The Dibia examined her carefully, his aged eyes narrowing. You are brave, my child, but bravery alone will not save you. You must prepare for the journey. Few days later, Adana was taken to the Obi, the sacred hut of the Dibia. He gave her a small leather pouch containing herbs and powders. This will protect you from the monster's charm, he explained. But it will not be enough. You must rely on your wits and your courage. Do not forget who you are, Adana. The women of the village braided her hair and adorned her with uleke, red and white beads for protection. Her mother gave her a calabash of water and her father's machete. That night, Adana stood by the riverbank. The villagers gathered behind her, their torches flickering in the darkness. The moon hung low, casting an eerie glow over the water. She turned to pray for me, she said simply, before stepping into the canoe. The villagers watched in silence as Adana paddled into the heart of the river. The river was calm at first, the only sound being the gentle splash of her paddle. But as Adana ventured deeper, the air grew colder, and the water began to ripple unnaturally. Suddenly, a deep, guttural voice echoed around. Who dares disturb my domain? Adana gripped her machete tightly, her heart pounding. Emerging from the depths was Agwamiri, its massive coiled body glistening in the moonlight. Its human face smirked proudly, red eyes glowing like embers. I am Adana, she said, her voice steady. I have come to demand the return of Nkem and to end your reign of terror. The monster laughed. A sound like rocks grinding together. You, a mere child, you are bold but foolish. Do you think you can defeat me? Adana raised her chin. Perhaps not, but I am not afraid of you. The monster's smile faded. Very well, brave one. If you wish to see the boy, you must pass my test. Fail, and you will join him in my lair forever. Adana nodded. I accept. The three steps. The monster's first test was a test of endurance. Agomiri summoned a whirlpool, its current pulling at Adana's canoe. Surviving this, and you may proceed, it hissed. Adana quickly remembered Dibia's pouch. She sprinkled the herbs into the water and chanted the incantation he had taught her. The whirlpool slowed and her canoe steadied. The monster growled, impressive. But let us see how you fare in the dark. For the second test, the monster plunged the river into total darkness. Adana could see nothing, not even her own hands. Suddenly, strange whispers surrounded her. Voices pleading and crying, help us, they wailed. Adana knew these were the spirits of those the monsters had claimed. She closed her eyes and focused on Dibia's words. Do not forget who you are. She began to sing an Igbo song her mother had taught her, a song of courage and hope. The whispers faded, and light returned to the river. The monster's fury was palpable. You are stronger than I thought, it admitted, but your greatest challenge lies ahead. For the final test, Agomiri demanded a riddle. Answer correctly and you win. Fail and your life is mine, he spoke. I have no legs, but I can run. I have no voice, but I can whisper. I have no hands, but I can carry. What am I? Adana thought so hard. The monster loomed closer, its red eyes unblinking. She remembered the river, how it carried her canoe, and whispered in the night. You are the wind, she answered. The monster let out an ear-splitting roar. His body thrashing in the water. You have bested me, girl. I will release the boy and leave your village in peace. But know this, you will never forget me. With a final hiss, Abomiri sank into the depths, and the river became still. Adana found Nkem unconscious but alive, tangled in reeds near the riverbank. She pulled him into the canoe and paddled back to the village. When they arrived, the villagers erupted in cheers. Nkem's mother wept with joy, embracing her son. Adana's mother held her tightly, tears streaming down her face. The Dibia approached her, a rare smile on his face. You have done what no one else could, Adana. You are not just brave, you are a true heroine. From that day on, Adana was celebrated as the savior of the village. The river remained a source of life, and the monster was never seen again. But Adana never forgot the glowing red eyes or the haunting voice of Agomiri. She carried the experience with her, a reminder that even in the face of great fear, courage and wit could triumph. And so, the tale of Adana, the brave girl, who faced the river monster, was passed down through generations. A story of bravery, resilience, and the power of the human spirit.